Listen, we've literally all been there. It's 3 a.m., you're stumbling through the dark, half asleep, just trying to get a quick glass of water from the kitchen, and then suddenly, squish. You look down and you realize you've just stepped right into a fresh, wet present left for you by your brand new puppy. It's the worst, right? It's incredibly frustrating, it's messy, it's exhausting. Well, welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to tackle this exact, highly relatable problem.
In that agonizing 3 a.m. moment, staring at the mess, you really start to wonder, are my carpets ever going to be the same again? Is my house just going to smell like this forever? And hey, it's completely valid to feel that frustration. But what if I told you that you don't have to live like this for months on end? What if in literally just one single week, you could transition from constant indoor accidents to a fully potty-trained pup? I know, it sounds like absolute magic, right? Well, it's actually totally possible, but it does require following a highly strict, non-negotiable system.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap for the week. We're going to start with the golden rule. Then, day 1, crate and leash. Moving into days 2 and 3, scheduling. Days 4 and 5, accidents. Days 6 and 7, signs. And finally, a lifetime of clean floors.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the golden rule.
So, the golden rule of potty training is all about completely reframing how we view our puppy's behavior. Look, they aren't trying to be bad or acting out of malice when they ruin your rug. They just have a tiny, developing bladder and absolutely no idea that your expensive Persian rug isn't a patch of grass to them. To fix this ongoing issue, we have to step up. We need to be way more consistent than the puppy is, purely because they lack the knowledge. It's on us to provide the structure. Now, just looking at this 7-day timeline, you can see it's a really clear progression. We start off with intense, strict control on day 1, then we gradually move through scheduling and handling missteps, and finally we arrive at mutual communication by the end of the week. It's a brilliant step-by-step evolution. Moving right along to Section 2, Day 1, focusing on the crate and leash.
On day 1, you're utilizing what we call the Crate and Leash Method, which essentially breaks down into 2 distinct states of being for your puppy. First up, the crate method. Basically, if you aren't actively playing with your puppy, they should be in their crate. Why? Well, because dogs naturally do not want to mess in the space where they sleep. So utilizing the crate actively teaches them bladder control. But what about when they're awake and out of the crate? That's exactly where the leash method comes in. You keep them on a leash, and you actually attach that leash directly to your belt. If they're physically tethered to you at all times, they simply cannot sneak off to a hidden corner of the dining room to do their business. You have total oversight.
That brings us to Section 3, Days 2 and 3, which is all about scheduling. You know, puppies absolutely thrive on predictability. During this phase, you're watching for 4 exact triggers. You need to take them out immediately after they wake up, right after they finish eating, directly after a play session, and right before they go to bed. And here's the real kicker. You need to take them to the exact same spot outside every single time. That familiar scent they leave behind in that specific area, it basically acts like a giant, invisible bathroom this way sign for their brain. And when they finally do go in that spot, you do not just stand there silently. You have to go into full-on cheerleader mode. You become their absolute biggest fan. You give them a high-value treat, something totally irresistible, like a tiny piece of real chicken, and you pair it with a consistent cue word like "go potty." The entire goal here is to make them think that going outside is the greatest, most rewarding job they have ever had in their entire life.
Okay, let's pivot to Section 4, Days 4 and 5, where we talk about accidents.
Look, when an accident happens, and let's be real, it will happen. Please, whatever you do, never yell at your puppy or do that horrible old-school trick of rubbing their nose in it. Doing this doesn't teach them where to go. It literally just teaches them to be terrified of you. If you react with anger, they'll simply start hiding their accidents behind the sofa or under the bed where you can't see them. You're teaching fear, not potty habits.
Instead, we're going to follow this exact 4-step reaction protocol. Step 1, if you catch them right in the act, just make a sharp "oops" sound. This is meant to safely interrupt them, not terrify them. Step 2, immediately pick them up. Step 3, rush them outside to their designated spot. And Step 4, if they manage to finish doing their business outside, reward them with a huge treat. Through this protocol, you're clearly teaching them that the inside of the house is strictly for taking naps, and the outside of the house is where the absolute party happens.
Oh, and there's one more absolutely essential part of dealing with accidents. You must always use an enzymatic cleaner on the indoor mess. You have to destroy the smell completely. If even a tiny trace of that scent remains, even if you can't smell it yourself, but their super sensitive nose can, the puppy will view that exact spot as a bathroom and just keep returning to it over and over again. We definitely do not want that.
Moving to Section 5, Days 6 and 7, Looking for Signs.
By the time we hit the end of the week, you stop watching the clock and you start watching the dog. You're looking for these really specific physical signs. Are they suddenly sniffing the floor in tight circles? Are they whining at you for seemingly no reason? Are they purposefully heading toward the door? The very second you see any of these behaviors, you drop whatever you're doing and you get them outside. You're actively teaching them how to successfully communicate their physical needs to you.
And finally, Section 6, a lifetime of clean floors. If you've stayed incredibly consistent through this strict one-week system and you haven't missed those scheduled breaks, you'll notice by the end of the week that accidents have practically disappeared. But we do have to ground our expectations here. As the saying goes, potty training is a marathon, not a sprint. It's so important to remember this. These 7 days, they're all about building an unbreakable foundation. Moving forward, it still takes absolute consistency and patience to maintain those behaviors. But man, the hard work you put in during this 1 week is what sets you up for years of success. It is incredibly worth it. So we've walked through the mindset, the crate, the leash, the schedules, the accident protocols, and the signs. You've got the complete blueprint right in front of you. The only thing left to ask is, are you ready to trade 1 week of strict discipline for a lifetime of permanently spotless carpets? Think about how great that 3 a.m. walk to the kitchen is going to feel without the squish. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and seriously, good luck out there.